Good morning, students. In the last class, we have started the new lesson homework and we have completed some part of that lesson. And I think you have remembered the story till where we have completed. We have completed till yes, homework is usually given to students to reinforce the things they learn at school. It usually helps the students learn the material better, but too much homework is not useful. It has some negative effects on students. This essay stresses the importance of limiting the amount of homework to be given to children. On the other hand, it discusses the adverse effects of excessive homework. The amount of homework given to children has been increased in recent times. The present day competition also encourages school to try to increase the volume of the curriculum. Some teachers say that large amounts of homework prepare students for the competitive world. The usual the amount of homework given to students is higher in colleges than that of schools. A lot of homework usually means a lot of books. Carrying large amounts of weight daily at a young age can do a lot of damage and it leads to chronic shoulder, neck, and back pain. Till here, we have learned the lesson in the last class. Today, we will be completing the remaining part of the lesson. If you see in your textbook, the large amount of homework is causing kids in both high school and junior high school to be up until midnight or later. When extracurricular when extracurricular activities such as sports, clubs, etc. are added to the picture, kids may even have to wake up early next morning to finish their homework, leaving them with an insufficient amount of sleep. Some parents and teachers argue that it would be beneficial to a child's academics to limit after school activities. However, cutting the time out of the few hours a week teenagers use for exercise could be a factor in the growing obesity cases. So what they are saying is large amount of homework is causing kids in both high school and junior high school until to be up until midnight or later. So by giving large amounts of homework, it is making students to be wake up until midnight, means they are not sleeping till midnight, so it is causing disturbance for sleep. When extracurricular activities such as sports, clubs, etc. are added to the picture, kids may even have to wake up early next morning to finish their homework, leaving them with an insufficient amount of sleep. So, what they are telling is when extracurricular activities like uh, sports, clubs are added to the uh, situation, kids may even have to wake up still early in the next morning because they need to finish their homework. So for that they have to wake up early in the morning, so leaving them with an insufficient means not enough sleep. So without proper sleep only they have to wake up early in the morning to complete their homeworks. So some parents and teacher argue that it would be beneficial, means useful. There some parents and teachers argue, means they say that it is useful for a child's academic, means teachers or researchers. So to limit after school activities. So, some parents and teachers argue that it is useful to a child's academic to limit after school activities. However, cutting the time out of the few hours a week teenagers use for exercise. So normally, cutting the time out of the few hours, so by saving, means by reducing the homework, they can save some time. So that time, uh, teenagers will use it for exercise and could be a factor in the, as nowadays, because of not having proper physical activity, obesity has become the main issue. So in these cases, this time used for exercise will help them uh, from becoming obese. The number of children who are overweight has doubled in the last 2 to 3 decades. Currently, one child out of five is overweight. These children are faced with more problems in school. Instead of learning and concentrating on their homework, many children are developing low esteem and even depression because of teasing. The cases of obesity are growing most certainly due to lack of physical exercise. With more and more homework being assigned, kids simply do not have enough time for proper amount of exercise. So here what they are saying is the number of children who are overweighted has doubled in the last 2 to 3 decades. So what they are saying is in last 2 to 3 decades, the number of children who are overweighted has doubled, and currently one child out of five is overweight. So what they are telling, overweight is too heavy and fat. So out of, if we see, in five students, one will be obese. So these children are faced with more problems. Why these children are facing more problems when compared to other children in the school? Instead of learning and concentrating on their work, many children are developing low self esteem, means a feeling of being happy with your own character and abilities. And even depression, means a condition in which a person feels very sad and anxious because of teasing, means as everyone will be making fun of them. So that is making them to get depressed. So with more and more homework, the cases of obesity are growing. Obesity means the state of being very fat. So the cases of obesity are growing more certainly due to lack of physical exercise. With more and more homework being assigned, kids simply do not have enough time for proper amount of exercise. So because of having more homeworks, they don't have proper time for their exercise. So that is making them to become over obese. Homework also takes away the time that a kid could be spending with his or her family. Rather than spending time bonding and building strong family relationships, parents and children argue over homework. This is taken away from important aspects of daily life. This time is particularly precious in families with both the parents working. The time spent by such parents with their children is very limited. This time could be better spent going out to dinner as a family or doing other activities that most families are not able to do because the kids don't have time to take a break from their homework schedule. So what they are saying is homework also take away the time that a kid could be spending with his or her family. By doing homework they don't have proper time to spend with their family also. So what they are saying is rather spending time bonding and building. Bonding means the process of forming relationship with a group of people. So rather spending time bonding and building strong family relationships, parents and children argue over homework. Time is taken away from important aspects of daily life. This time is particularly precious in families with both the parents working. So, normally, the time which is consumed for doing homework, that time is very important for the families whose parents both the parents are working. So the time spent by such parents with their children is very limited because even they also will be working and they too don't have much time. So the time is very limited to spend with their children. So this time could be better spent going out to dinner as a family. So that time they can spend time with their family by going out to have a dinner or doing other activities that most families are not able to do because the kids don't have time to take a break from their homework schedule. When assignments are given carelessly and frequently, it causes students to lose interest in the subject. Negative results can also occur when a student is not able to complete his or her homework. Many times they will resort to copy the homework, having others do their assignments or cheating in tests. Bad habits such as these are likely to haunt kids through their lives and have an adverse effect on their moral judgment. Students will almost always take the easy way when it comes to homework. So, what they are saying is when assignments are given carelessly and frequently, it causes students to lose their interest in the subject. So, the negative results, what they are telling, the negative results can also occur because when a student is not able to complete his or her homework, many times they will resort to copy the homework and having others do their assignments or cheat in tests. So these bad habits, as these are likely to hound means disturb kids through their life and have an adverse effect. Adverse means negative and unpleasant effect on their moral judgment. Even students will almost always take the easy way when it comes to homework. Even you also children, when you have to submit it quickly and one of your friend already written the homework, what you will do, you also will take the book and you also will copy the same thing. So that is not the proper way because it will make you it creates a bad habit in you and it affect on your moral judgment. So the use of homework is effective when used by the rule less is more. Overwhelming kids with loads of homework can cause them stress and possible physical injury. Homework takes away from the small amount of time kids get to spend with their parents and siblings. A limit on their physical and social activities can also take a large toll on their lives and could hinder their health and future relationships. So, what they are saying is the use of homework is effective when it is used by the rule less is more. And overwhelming means very great kids with loads of homework can cause them stress and possible physical injury. And also homework takes away from the small amount of time kids get to spend with their parents and sibling means brothers or sisters. So by doing if you have loads of homework, you don't have time to spend with your parents and siblings, isn't it? So a limit on their physical and social activity can also take a large toil means hard unpleasant work on their lives and could hinder means to make it difficult for somebody to do something, hinder their health and future relationships. This is not to say that homework should be abolished, but it should be limited. The homework should also be creative and interesting so that the child enjoys it. So, what they are saying is this is not to say means they are not telling that homework should be abolished means end a system. So they are not telling that not to give homework, but the homework should be limited and the homework should also be a creative and interesting because the child enjoys it when the homework is creative and interesting. So this is the lesson and I think you have understood it. There are some hard words. Extracurricular, insufficient, beneficial, teenagers, concentrating, self esteem, schedule, frequently, overwhelming, abolished, and some meanings here: obesity, the state of being very fat; precious, valuable, or important; overwhelming, very great; toil, hard, unpleasant work; hinder, to make it difficult for somebody to do something. And your homework assignment is write hard words and meanings in your notebooks. Students, I have given you hard words and meanings separately. I want you to write them neatly in your notebooks and learn the spellings of the hard words and also learn meanings. We'll be completing the remaining part of the lesson in the next session. Thank you. Have a good day.